Howdy, everyone. Matt here. I got a question for you. What do you think of multi-level marketing? Do you think it has a place in PT, that you as a PT or PTA can utilize those things that they do that to supplement your income to live financially free, or is it just a bunch of garbage? Let's talk about that. But first and foremost, let me introduce myself. My name is Matt the PT, coming at you with another topic and another video of something that's in the physical therapy world somewhat. Multi-level marketing, or MLM, network marketing, whatever you want to call it. Some people also call it a pyramid scheme. Now, you may be saying, what is it? Well, it's a company that sets up that says, hey, we're going to sell this product. So what they do is they have people at this level who sign up people under them to sell the product. And when these people under them sell the product, the people above them get a percentage of what they sell. But then that group here can get people under them to sell the product. And so when they make a sale, the people above them make some money and the people above them. So it's just this big thing. Now I hear it right now. People are saying, well, Matt, pyramid schemes are illegal. It's illegal when the focus is just on signing up more and more people, when the focus of it is. It's not illegal if the focus is on selling the product or the service, because some of them do sell some services. So they get around it like that. And these things have been around for a long time, and I understand they are going to keep sticking around on that. But they've kind of made their way into the PT world. I would say, and I just want to talk about this as a bit of a warning, just to inform you and talk about it. And of course, I want to hear your experience and beliefs and opinions and all that. Please comment them down below as well. But I remember around 2016, 2017-ish, around in many of these PT forums and groups and stuff that people are talking on social media, that burnout was a big thing. Burnout was the hot topic that so many people were really, really talking about. And people were saying, with these productivity standards being so high and having to see all these patients and do all this documentation and do this and do that, it's just so hard. I just want to find something different. But at the same time, they want to do something different with less stress and things, which we all want, but make the same amount of money. Now, spoke in a video about, the grass is greener video, that people often say that, like, I spent so much time in building career capital in this position, I want to leave it for something else, but make the same amount of money. That's not really how it works. It's very hard, because you may have spent, 10, 20 years doing a PT. That's not going to transfer to many, many other things, unless it's other things in healthcare. There are some other things, I know we see those things where people talk about, the jobs in these retail stores or these places that's like, oh, a store manager makes $200,000. I should go apply for that. Why are they going to hire you when you have zero experience in retail? You have zero managerial experience in retail. Why are they going to hire you to do that job? Okay, that makes zero sense. How are you going to come in as an outsider to do that when you again, keeping that in mind. But with the talk of all that burnout, it seemed like these MLM people started creeping in and selling the promise of what they wanted. Hey, you can set your own hours. You can be your own boss and make as much money as you want. And you don't need all that headache and noise. And I'm going to tell you, I have heard so many MLMs over the years. So many people times have come up. Oh my gosh. I remember in college, my roommates falling into one about, they were selling like household groceries and stuff like that you just go and order these groceries and then just delivered straight to you, and you just get all these, everything that you need, and you just sign up all these other people and you get these points. It was weird. Oh, I remember I would have try some of the stuff. It was gross. The food was gross. I've seen another one was MP3s with music. So like when iTunes really got popular, I remember it was like you buy these songs and you create a playlist. And you get your friends and family to come buy the songs from you. And I was like, that's kind of goofy. Like, nobody wanted it. But I have heard other ones. Of course, weight loss supplements, health supplements, of course, cleaning supplies. What have I heard? Another one, like vacations and stuff. I hear legal advice and stuff. So many of these things have come along, and I've seen people fall for them. But then it seemed, I would say, you get that first one, that kind of the classic one that was there. And then around 2019 into 2020, it seemed to change. These companies seem to say, like, you know what? You have to, when you sign up in there, we give you training. They would train you on how to sell the product and do this coaching and blah, blah, blah. They said, you know what? Let's get rid of the product. If we get rid of the product, We don't have to pay for making the product anymore or shipping it and doing all that. We're just going to sell you information. We'll teach you to be a coach in some form or fashion that you can then coach others, and then they can coach others. And so there's just coaching. It's your coaches selling coaching on coaching to other coaches to learn how to be a coach so that more people can coach others to coach. Like, that's all it was. It was just one thing after it. They just got rid of it. It was the same thing. And this stuff was everywhere. And I really saw this really get into the PT world. There were therapists, oh my gosh, selling this stuff about how to like open your own clinics and retain patients and do all this stuff. But find out these people, like some of them I saw had not even opened their own clinics, found out. Some of them have only been practicing like maybe a couple months. It's like, what do you know about any of this? You're just regurgitating information that was fed to you by someone else. And it got really ridiculous. But it seems like that is kind of falling away. I still see it floating around. There's still a little bit in there. But then this new one that I've seen recently is that people promote this thing of, we're going to teach you how to be like financially free. You're going to break free. So again, kind of go back to the other thing. You're going to be financially free and be able to do all this and do that and do all that, have all these great, wonderful, magical things. And we're going to teach you how, because I did it at this point. I was just someone in your shoes, and they'll list out some stuff. And then like blank amount of time later, I am doing all this stuff and I'll teach you how. And then they slip a product or something in there. I think one of them I saw was a water system or something that like cures everything from like your health issues to your marriage problems to your finance problems. It was something really weird. But it's just an MLM. So, and what I want to talk about with this is that just to warn people about them, to say, just, I'm looking out. We're all, the PTs and PTAs and all the healthcare people that watch these videos and I interact with. We're a community, and I just want to share this with you just to be aware of. So just to let you know. First and foremost, with any of these things, if it's some MLM trying to sell a product or anything like that, you don't make any money in it. That is plain and simple. If you want to say that you're a PT or PTA and you're evidence-based, you can go look at a lot of this evidence, this research, this stuff that is out there. The vast majority, and I'm talking like 90% of the people in this, make less than $5,000 a year doing this. That it overall, when they look at the amount of time that they spend trying to market this stuff and to sell it and to doing all that, they make less than minimum wage over time. And so less than $5,000. So just say, if you quit your job as a PT, and I'm just going to use PT, that the average salary for PT is roughly $85,000. So you're going to quit a job that's $85,000 a year to make $5,000 in a month, a year, not a month, a year. Excuse me, I misspoke. In a year, $5,000 in a year, and I'm talking let's like 90%. Now the people that get in super early, I ran into some jerk once that was like really promoting some goofy weight loss thing, and come to find out he was one of the first people in. So yeah, he's super high in that pyramid. So yeah, he's going to make a lot of money because there's so many people under him. That's not what most people do. And also the vast majority, again, like 70% of the people don't make their original investment back. They don't even make it back on it. So you do all that work for nothing on it. So just to let people know. Now, talking about that cost. Yes, you do have to, you can bring this, and I'm saying, people ever hit you up with this stuff. I hit them, I grill them with all these questions. Oh my gosh, I get these things from people occasionally, and I grill them with all these questions, and they don't really like it, but I don't care. But part of it as well, if you want to join these things, you have to pay money to them. You either have to pay money to join, you have to pay money for the training, you have to pay money for the products. What job do you have to pay money to do? Now, their thing is that, well, you as a PT, PTA, you have to pay for your license. Yes, we do. You have to pay for your license. You have to pay for your continuing ed. It's the same thing. You're paying for all of that. Okay. Here's the thing about my license. My license allows you to practice anywhere in your state for however, whatever the period of time is. It allows you to practice in anywhere. That continuing ed that you take, when you take that continuing ed, it goes with you the rest of your life. And over time, so like I said, I've done dry needling training. I have done, of course, my McKinsey stuff. The longer I go and utilize those things that I've learned, the more it pays for itself. It's more than paid for itself in how I treat and how I've worked with patients. It has long since paid for itself and made me more money over time compared to going, oh, you're going to go sell these supplements. Yeah. What can you transfer? You can't do anything else with it except just that. They also lock you into contracts and that you will have to continuously buy. They will just be billing you. It doesn't matter if you sold anything the last month. Nope. You got to buy the new supply and you got to sell that supply and this new supply. And people get really stuck into it because they're just trying to sell over and over. Now, that's another thing. When it's like healthcare stuff, like maybe we'll say healthcare stuff. It's not even healthcare stuff, but health supplements and things like that. I would hope you as a PT or PTA understand how to read research. And I'll ask him this. What's the research on this? What research has been done on this? Most of them can't produce anything, or it's something in their own like newsletters or whatnot. Do you know? Okay, is that a good study or whatever that's published in a newsletter that's anecdotal? Or do we know that that's going to be good? No, it's not any good. Or I've seen that they will use some of the other supplements and things, like some of the weight loss stuff has like green tea in it. So, oh, here's these studies with green tea in it. Okay, well, how much is in your product? Well, it's a proprietary mix, so they can't give you. So yeah, if that's going to be the biggest cost to them over there, they could put just, a little sprinkling in it and say it's in it. Yeah, that's what it is. It's nothing. It's nothing in it. And now if it's one of the ones that's, like I said, the coaches that are coaching on coaching, or the other coaches, they're selling information. Now this has been really interesting, and I'll probably bring it up whenever I do the business coaching one. But again, you took out the product and you're just giving information. And this is a very interesting, I can see how it can be pretty profitable to them, is that if somebody buys that coaching, if you buy that coaching from somebody and it doesn't work, to say, hey, I'm going to buy this coaching to be able to learn to do this. And, there's some of these sales ones, there's a lot of people out there have shown these people that do these sales ones, but they showed that these individuals who sold these sales courses, that when people didn't do it well, because they said it was just very basic information, when they weren't able to make sales, that person goes, oh, well, you need to upgrade and buy my master class. So you have to go upgrade and you have to spend more with them. Or they would say, you didn't believe enough. You didn't understand it enough. You didn't know your target audience. So they can blame you. They say, it's your fault that you didn't do it. I gave you all the information. It's your fault that you didn't utilize it. And I've talked to a number of people when I've talked about this coaching stuff. They said, yeah, I've seen that, where I spent this money. I found that it wasn't really working, and they blame me. And additionally, with a lot of that information, they said, yeah, it was very, very basic. I could have looked on like YouTube or something else and found the same stuff. And they said, like, it was nothing really earth shattering or whatnot. And I'll just kind of wrap up with these last little bits. Now, they may be seeing, when I was pointing out, they were like, oh, I get to travel. Look at me traveling the world and going to these events and these giveaways. Yeah, that's another thing that they'll do. These places will do these little parties or whatever where they give away prizes and stuff. They do that just for social media. So that these people go and they're taking pictures of this big party. And, like having this big party, so it makes like it's a big thing. They just make it up. That's really all it is. And people have shown that they just make up all this stuff. Really, really, really. And also, if I ever see any of these people, posing in front of a nice car, or, getting on a private plane, or they're sitting on the private plane, that one looking at the window or whatnot. First and foremost, they probably rented it. That's probably the first thing. They probably rented it. But also, if they did that, if they actually own that thing or they do that thing, where do you think the money came from? Do you think it came from what they were actually selling or doing? Do you think that came, or do you think it came from you? It most likely came from you. I think of this joke of this young man that pulls up to his office, and he's walking in, and the boss pulls up in this fire red Lamborghini, and he gets out, and the young man's looking at it, and the boss sees him, and he goes, I'm going to tell you what, son, If you work hard, coming in early, staying late, putting in all that extra work, I can afford another one of these next year. That's really what it is. You are paying for them to have that lifestyle. It's not what they were doing. Because with any of that stuff, with any of those things that people are saying that I do this and make all this money, why are you selling coaching and creating competition and focusing on other things? Why are you not putting more effort into doing that thing that you're saying and making more money? Because if you put more effort and time into it, you're going to make more on the other end. Why are you selling it? I just bring that up. So with that all being said, keep this in mind. Any of those things, and again, this has been proven, if you see those things, you're actually going to make more money in your career if you focus on those internal. So if you say, hey, this thing wants to do, they want to coach me for $5,000. Hey, this thing is only $400 a month to get in. If you spent that money into something that would, help you as a PT or a PTA and continuing ed or something like that, you're going to make more money in the long term. You will. And they've shown that over time. So that's my rant on that whole thing. Just want to warn you, give a heads up on it. Let me know. What do you think? What do you think of these things? Do you laugh when you get them? Do you think, no, Matt, you're wrong. These things are the greatest thing since sliced bread on it. I don't know. Sliced bread is pretty awesome, but it's the greatest thing. What do you think about it? Share down below your question, your comments, your beliefs, your opinions, all of that. I want to share that. I want to say thank you for taking your time out of your day to watch the video. Thank you if you enjoyed it. Hit that like button. Of course, consider subscribing to the channel. It won't cost you a copay or anything like that. And like always, take care of yourself. Take care of your patients. I'll see you next time.